Okay, calling the Finance Committee meeting to order at 6:30 on 11/6/2025. The first order of business is to review and discuss school committee's transfer of health insurance funds that were allotted to the schools via special town meeting to other line items at the meeting held the day after town meeting, 10/28/25. And so I think Mr. Gibbons had a direct, like you watched directly.
Yeah, so I did watch it. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to watch it. It was quite a shock. And now that I think back, it's probably not that huge of a shock. But they on Monday the town allocated over $360,000 to the school committee.
Specifically for
health insurance related costs. The next day they transferred they had two transfers, but the other one is somewhat irrelevant. But they transferred $17,000 out of the health insurance costs to go to software, and I believe it has to do with security software, which is fine. I did review the rules, and it looks like they have full autonomy to do that if they so choose.
They do have full autonomy to move money within line items within their, as they choose. Once the money's allotted to them, then I believe they can do with it what they want. However, I really take exception with the fact that we asked our taxpayers to come and to vote to allot this funding specifically for health insurance costs, and the next day it's bad faith, in my opinion. The next day they moved that 17,000 and change out of that line item into other line items, when they could have elected to leave that money in the account, and then at the end of the year, if they had not expended it on insurance costs, they could have returned it and helped reduce the stabilization fund withdrawal, or helped in any of those ways. The fact that the day after the town meeting, when the taxpayers went and voted, that they did that while legally they didn't break any laws, I think it's bad faith with the taxpayers. I think, I don't know, like ethically, I don't know if it breaks any ethical laws, but as a taxpayer, I'm a little offended. And so I don't know if anyone else has any comments about that, but.
I'd like to know what, I didn't get to watch the whole thing that you sent, but I did see where they said this was due to them shuffling some stuff around. So when did this shuffle occur?
Right.
Was this before town meeting?
Yes,
was it the
probably.
day of?
Right.
That's what I want.
Or the morning after.
There's like no transparency. And then when I did watch it, it was brushed over really quickly.
And I believe there was a meeting yesterday, and the things that were spoken about in that meeting, there were two representatives from the Finance Select Board, School Committee, along with Town Manager and Town Accountant. What was spoken in that meeting can be discussed here. And so was there any talk at that meeting, and I had asked Mr. Gibbons in my stead to take my place because I was unable to attend. And so is there anything we could discuss here about pertaining to that?
Well, there is. It's indirectly related to it, but one of the select board members who were there did discuss the potential for an exploratory committee being officially formed to look into the options surrounding school choice.
Okay.
Just a fact-finding committee to come to the town and see if it's even even feasible. The school committee was pretty steadfast against it. They voted against it.
They voted against it at another meeting, at a
Yes.
regular scheduled meeting that they had not, because there was no deliberation or decision-making yesterday's meeting. Yesterday's meeting was just a collaborative,
Tuesdays.
open discussion.
Yeah, that's what they represented. And you know, the meeting went on and it got a little animated. There's some back and forth, but put that aside. But one of the big things that the school department is really concerned with and is frustrated over is the lack of attention that that this board and the select board put on their budget. And basically
The lack of attention that we put on
no,
there?
the amount of attention.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I misspoke, but they feel that they get a little bit more attention on them than other departments do, and I have to say that exactly what happened the day after special town meeting is
and
why.
also, once the money is so once the money is allotted to the school at annual town meeting, special town meeting, or wherever they're allotted funding, once that money is allotted, we no longer have any control on how they take those funds and disperse it. So, as a finance professional, when I'm looking at departments that have to stay within their line items and have to have various things happen in order to move from line item to line item, and they must, follow what they say they're going to do with the budgets that they propose, and then we look at that and we can see where they are in line. Many, many times we've said, why is this high? Why is this low? This looks to be out of sorts over here. Why is this encumbered? So we do, when we see a discrepancy or a variance to, a significant degree, look at all departments. But with the school, and each month we get all we get the line item budget expenditures to date from the town of Belchertown for everything that's gone on, so we can see clearly, we can review it, we can formulate any questions we may have on that. That said, once the school is allotted their total sum of money, they can move it any which way they want, and we no longer have any control. So personally, I think it's in the best interest of the voting citizens, taxpayers that we represent, to make sure before we determine amount that we are comfortable allotting to the school, that we get a really good understanding of where that money will be spent, and if that money is then spent elsewhere, that we understand why it needed to be spent elsewhere, for what reasons, and that may or may not be a factor of consideration in a future budget cycle based on those events. So we're only doing our due diligence, and if the school is opposed to the members of the finance committee, I'm not going to speak to the select board, but the members of the finance committee doing their due diligence so that we can accurately report our expertise and our opinions to the town at town meeting, that's something that they can own. Like, no.
My apologies. My concern were effectively the voters voted on this, and these are classified more or less as designated funds.
Correct.
Period.
Correct.
It's not even a question. So my question is, we as a finance committee, how do we turn this around to enforce that we tell them that money you transfer, regardless of what it is, it's got to go back to insurance?
Can't do it.
Can't, huh?
Cannot do it. And that is why we have to do our due diligence up front and be really confident that the information that is provided to us will be what is followed through on. And this is not certainly the first time that the school has taken sums of money and reallocated them as they have seen fit, compared to what they had said that they would be used for.
And, I'm sorry, Mike.
No, good.
And conversely, though, I mean, you don't want to handcuff them with their funds. You want them to be able to
No, I
run the
want them
school
to be
district
accountable.
accordingly.
I don't want them, I don't want to handcuff them. I want to
Exactly.
hold them accountable. So if I say I need to spend $100,000 on this line item, turns out I only need to spend $80,000 on that line item, then, and I decide we need $20,000 over here, I should be able to speak to that openly, honestly, transparently as to why that took place. Or maybe you say, here's $20,000 back because we did not need to utilize it. So it's transparent. We need transparency. We need a culture of, town-wide, like, to benefit everybody. And so we don't want to I wouldn't want to handcuff anybody, but I certainly would want accountability. Who came up with the numbers? Who said you needed that amount?
Katie lined up.
Hey, no, I saw Katie. Hi, Katie. But I want to know who. Hi. I want to know who came up with those numbers,
Right.
and why they came up with them, and why now is there such a variance? Like, I do 30 budgets a year. I need to be pretty darn close on my projections and to be able to explain why.
I do have the answer for that.
Good.
And this happened on the town side as well, I believe. When the 20% increase was passed on, the town allowed for a special drop period where if you felt like the cost was too high, you could opt to drop out in the middle of the plan year and go to, for instance, spousal coverage. So they had a drop in enrollment, and that freed up those funds.
But how do we know that? And I know that, but thank you for sharing that. How do we know that in 6 months we're not going to have an increase in enrollment and we're not going to have an increase in claims?
Yep.
Because all of a sudden somebody has this happen and we're going to have an increase in claims, and now the school doesn't have enough money left in that line item.
At the end of the day, it was obviously only $17,000. I don't want to say that. It really doesn't matter, the number.
Brian, was it 17? Because I thought there were 2 transfers.
There were 2 transfers, but the one for the health insurance fund for the software was $17,000.
But the one that went to teacher contracted services was not from the health insurance account?
I
believe that at one
don't
was-
believe so. They did not give that number in the meeting.
I think that they did in the subcommittee meeting that took place before.
And so
I
both
think
of
it is some
those?
addition, I think it is above and beyond 17,000.
The total, I'm sure there's no question about that.
Yeah.
From the health insurance money
I
that was
believe so.
allotted.
That was my recollection. I was in that meeting, and that's what I recall. But then when they spoke about it publicly at their regular session, I don't know if they brought up that second sum. I'm not sure.
My problem with this whole thing is that these were crisis funds that basically that was earmarked for health insurance. Whether it's 17,000, 17 cents, I personally don't care. That money is earmarked for the employees of this town, and they should not have touched it. So I don't know if we can make a request that they transfer it back.
I don't think we can. I hate to say it, but no, I don't think we can. Katie, do you have any comments? Questions?
Yeah, I mean, if the town gets a hold of this information, which clearly we're on an open meeting, it seemed like they would be upset about this. It seemed like a bait and switch. And I don't know, if there's nothing we can do about it, there's nothing we can do about it, but I think certainly the town may not be very happy about it.
Right, and the townspeople, they're town employees, and the town, and the taxpayers, and, everybody.
Right. Yeah.
It was the day after. It wasn't 2 weeks later. It wasn't a month down the road. It was literally the day after.
Yeah, and I guess I would like to hear from them, maybe why that was done. I don't know if I have the full story. I haven't had a chance to watch the meeting, but, maybe there's another side of the story that we don't know. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Was there
It would be
any,
nice.
Was Steve there?
No.
was there any discussion at yesterday's meeting,
No,
to the why? No?
we didn't even breach the subject.
I'm really struggling with that.
I mean, I think we can just ask the question, right? Or have the select board ask the question.
I think we can ask the question. I do know legally we cannot force them to do anything, but as it, the finance committee can absolutely ask the question and hope in a spirit of collaboration and cooperation and transparency that they answer it to the best of their ability, and that we are able to have a discussion about it so that moving forward it doesn't replicate itself.
Yeah, I mean, we can either ask them to join the next FinCom meeting, we can ask them at the next tri-board meeting. And I mean, the broader the group gets, I feel like the more they're gonna feel like they need to explain. And that's accurate, that's what happened.
Should we have a combined meeting?
Well, we are going to be having a joint meeting shortly. I don't know what the date is. I don't know if there's a doodle poll. We haven't scheduled it yet. Nicole, do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, I remember when I was sitting and listening and it was said, I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was, whoa, is that okay? But, I didn't want to make a judgment before I actually knew. But I think you make such a good point, in this collaborative meeting that we had the other night. It was me who brought up, I want to form this regionalization exploratory committee. And I got a lot of pushback from our superintendent on it. Does not even want to look at it. But, makes a good point that, the movement of the money, I mean, it just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to jive.
It doesn't feel good.
No.
It doesn't. It doesn't, no. But, I'm trying to be cooperative and keep a good relationship and tread lightly.
I mean, I think we should ask the question. I think that's what we should do. And let them provide a response. I don't want to assume anything. So I think that's the best route to go. Just let's find out.
So we can, when do you know, will a tri-board meeting be scheduled in the near future or?
So I believe Steve is working on that. I think from what I heard, I think he just asked his department heads to start putting their budgets together.
He told us within the week.
Within the week.
Yeah.
So I think that we're still really early, but we had requested quarterly tri-board meetings starting as soon as possible. So I do want to try and pull it together so I can talk to him about it, but I don't think it'll be before Thanksgiving.
But I do agree with you, Katie, like the more people at the table and then to publicly speak about it would also allow for questions to be asked, because if we're emailing, the open meeting laws and all that, and townspeople may very well be interested to hear the question and the school's explanation of that.
Yeah, like I said, maybe there's something we don't know.
And,
Maybe.
and to talk to Katie's point, I have no issue with what they're spending that money on. It's it's a security system. It's like a PAC system, a card reader system, if I understood it correctly, for really high level security areas, like maybe IT rooms or something like that, which I work with.
I get it.
On a
I
daily
have them
basis,
in
I
our
understand-
offices. I get it.
I understand that. So it's not. It's just the idea. I mean, right during town meeting.
Were there no other funds to use besides those?
I mean, right during a special town meeting, there was a school committee member who was up there for quite a while speaking about other warrant articles. I mean, it would have just been it would have been a good talking point if it was at least mentioned. But then again, they don't have to. So.
They absolutely don't have to. So if there's no more on that subject, can we move to board organization? So I'm super busy at work. We've just moved our organization. I can't get my emails for work alone under 200 of things that actually need my attention. I've also had some recent health issues. And so trying to navigate my personal life, my work life and other appointments and things in between, I don't feel I'm going to be able to be effective as the chair of the committee, even though it's midterm. So I would like to nominate Brian Gibbons to serve as the chair for the remainder of this year, because I think that he has the established relationships with town leaders, has the time to be able to put all of this together, do the research, come up with the data, work with people, that your schedule allows for that, whereas I ran out of the office screaming at 5:45 trying to get here, with a million other things. So I don't think it's fair of me to try to continue as chair this year with all of that, because I think it's very important that the finance committee have a strong chair along with a strong committee to support that as we go into this budget season. So would there be any discussion on that?
I just have one question. Would it be it's a 3-year term, correct?
He wouldn't take over my term, so each year the board reorganizes.
Okay.
And so July 1st, there would be a vote. I'm sorry, there would be a vote to who the chair would be, who the vice chair would be, who the clerk would be, who just members would be. So it would be between, tomorrow morning and June 30th. And then it would be
And so each year on July 1st, you go...
each year, on or around
Okay.
July
Yes,
1st,
correct, yeah.
right, the first meeting after the new fiscal year.
Well, I have something I want to say, and normally, thank you, Lori, for thinking highly of my ability to do that, but, usually when somebody resigns from that position, the vice chair would step in, or the next person. I'm brand new to the committee, and I will absolutely do it if committee members with a little more seniority than me would not want to do it. But,
Are you interested, Mike?
No, I think that's definitely the right call.
Next item.
I'm in the same boat with you. Yeah, I would be doing the town a disservice with, just like you, how busy I am with young
The time,
kids.
young, great, it's just the time
And just seeing the work
constraint
that he's put in and how involved he can be when we're not around.
Right,
So
and that's what I'm
No.
thinking.
that's what.
Like everyone, Katie, Rick, Mike, you're all very qualified experts in financial management and all of that. All of us really are. But like for me, it was just a time thing. Like, how do I fit this in
Right.
when I also have to do all these other obligations? One which pays me, for my wage. The other one's personal, like family, and then the other one is some health things.
Yeah, but Brian is, in my opinion, extremely qualified.
100%.
The things he knows amazes me. It's
You
like...
could be more qualified than I am.
don't be too amazed. I can amaze you in the other direction too.
Tell me, I said, how do you know this stuff?
Right.
Right, because you're very well qualified.
Yeah.
You make me go, wow, and that's why I did, not as a disservice to anybody else, because I know you're all super qualified, but I do think you have the time, the resources, the established relationships within the town leadership and departments, which will allow for mid-year change, to allow for you to have conversations that don't involve having to get to know somebody first, how they communicate, how best to communicate with them. It cuts all of that.
I have 2 questions. One, are you still going to be on the committee?
I will still remain on the committee. At
Okay.
this point in time, my plan is to remain on the committee
Okay. Second question is,
as a member.
do we have to vote and elect Brian
Yes.
as chairman, and you state that you have now resigned?
I'm resigning as chairperson of the finance committee. My intent is to stay on as a member
Okay,
at this
that's
point in
fine.
time.
That's internal committee business. There's no formal, you have to write a letter to the town manager.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But it would be Brian becomes the chair, and then I would automatically go to be a
And
member.
I need to record something,
Yes, you do.
so...
We have to take a vote.
Yeah, so that's my next question, is are we going to vote, can we have a motion that Brian will become our new chairman?
I make a motion.
Okay,
Second.
all right. So, discussion?
Yes.
I'll back it up now.
Lori's going to finish this meeting as chair.
Okay.
It'll occur at the end of this meeting.
Right, so at the,
Okay.
thank you, so at the end of this meeting, so if there's no further discussion, is everyone in favor of Brian Gibbons becoming the Finance Committee Chair for the rest of this fiscal year, effective 12:01 a.m. on November 7th, 2025? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You can vote for yourself.
You gotta
can't
vote.
you?
It passed.
I'll put you as an extension.
Lori, do we have to do roll call since I'm?
We do, I'm sorry, thank you, Katie. So Katie, how do you vote?
Enthusiastically, yes.
Yes. there you go. Rick, how do you vote?
Yes?
I am like Katie, an enthusiastic yes. Mike?
Yes.
And Brian.
I'm abstaining.
And Brian's abstaining. 4-1, you're it. Nicole, do you want to vote too?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
God save the queen.
There's one thing I want to say, okay? And you know, we kind of beat up a department.
We did.
In town earlier today. I watched that whole meeting, so I decided to look at some of the stuff that they talked about in that meeting, which has to do with the income, per student and the results, which were the MCAS scores, which they had a lot. You can go on the state, the DART website and get some comparison data on towns that are similar to Belchertown. And I will tell you that even though some of the scores that came back are concerning the school department, compared to some of these other towns, we've done very, very, very well.
I think our school system is
and-
amazing with the children that we teach, like the end, I have no qualms with the performance of the teachers in helping the students, assisting them in getting the best education they can. That is, there's nothing against the teachers, and thank you for clarifying that, because it's not.
There are so many factors, and it's, baseline spending. We're $5 million above baseline spending. But you go to towns that are our size that only spend $500,000 over baseline spending, and you look at their results, and there's towns that spend $20 million over the baseline funding that
Still aren't getting the results we're getting.
Yeah. So I just thought it has to be mentioned.
Nicole?
Brian, is there what you were looking at, is that an easy enough thing to download?
Absolutely simple. It's public information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm interested to see scores, average scores alongside for all 300 something towns?
No.
Oh, okay. For all 300 whatever, and just to see where we.
Belchertown, South Hadley, East Long Meadow.
Okay,
Can
I'll
you
take a
put-
look at it.
Is that the top three? Belchertown, South
It's
It?
up to the top three. It's just
Okay.
I watched, I tried to watch as much as I could, and there was somebody who mentioned saying that our older scores were better than our newer scores or something. And I wasn't, it was very confusing to me, because I think he referenced farther back, like 2015 or something versus now.
It's a whole different system now, so it has to do with, I would take more credence in how we do against the other districts.
Yeah, I was kind of when I heard him, I was like, that's kind of an odd question.
And we spend considerably less per student than those other two districts spend.
So does this have the actual, oh, okay. I guess I was looking for more like town, average MCAS scores in each subject, and then per student funding.
It's not that simple, but if you go on the page, it'll have finances, it'll have assessment, so you have to go to different pages.
Okay.
And I printed one of each off.
Yeah, okay.
It's not the easiest system to use, but once you're in it for 5 minutes, it's really simple. It just takes a lot of work.
They've got one grade, I think it was 10th grade, that is doing amazingly, well above the state average, so that was nice to see.
Mhm. I do know that the kids my daughter graduated with in 2018, my daughter included, there are a large portion of those 166 students that are really doing quite well in their careers and in their education and post-secondary education and all of that, which is a testament to the schools themselves. I know your daughter's out of school doing really well based on, so none of that. I really just struggle with the lack of transparency and the timeline of moving those funds that were specifically given, like those types of things just cause ripples, which cause questions, and then, maybe a conversation could have been had. Maybe it could have happened 2 weeks down the road. Maybe other money could have been found, that type of thing.
Maybe the new chairman can take care of that.
Maybe.
Well,
You have at it. You have at it.
there's another thing that as a board we're going to have to look at, and that's something that I'd rather use titles than names, but since Nicole's here, I'll just say Nicole. Mentioned on Tuesday afternoon, early evening, that we should really, at our next tri-board meeting, I take it, come up with some, I don't know if it's a code of conduct or some ground rules about the way we talk to each other. And
Yeah, I do want to talk about it at our first tri-board meeting.
Good.
I want us to kind of turn it around from how I think we all, myself included, I look back and I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't say that. That wasn't necessary. And I just want us to kind of think twice before, on both sides, on all three sides of this, how we speak.
To each other?
Before we speak.
If somebody mentioned Joe Shea's name, I'm still going to lean into the microphone.
Yes, you're allowed. Joe Shea is exempt.
Okay, as long as I can fill my opinion about him, I 100% agree.
I handled it the best I could. I'm sorry. That's it. He's gone.
with that said, I said something very benign Tuesday, and I woke someone up.
It does, and you know what? The familiarity we all have with each other it leads to us possibly not filtering ourselves as much as we would if we were in a room that
And I think
we didn't have
people
that.
forget we're being watched
Right.
too by the whole town, and so I think that's what we have to kind of remember in the back of our heads.
Right.
Something I am going to do, though, is I am not going to go into so much detail like I have if I've been looking at other committees. And pretty much what they do is they go off the agenda and then they say, we did this and this was the result and that was it. Okay? So it's kind of like what I said in my email. Unless you say, I want to go on the record,
Right.
okay? It's just going to be, we discussed it, this is what we voted, and that's it. So.
Because the meetings are also recorded,
Exactly.
and they can look and watch the meeting if they want, and many people do.
Yeah.
So the next thing would be review and vote on any outstanding FinCom meeting minutes. You're up, Rick.
Okay, so.
Best minutes I've ever seen.
Thank you. So I sent you the minutes for the 15th and also the 27th.
And I was not present at the town meeting on the
It's
27th, and
smart.
Katie was,
Yeah.
and Katie was remote.
Yes, if you look at it, it says that Katie was present via YouTube, and the A means you were absent.
Right.
Okay.
So I can't sign those. I've read them,
Yep.
but I can't sign them.
The other thing too is we don't all have to sign the minutes. I can just send them in.
Okay.
So that can work too.
Perfect.
But I try to get at as much information so that we say, here's what we did. But again, I'm looking at like the minutes from a couple of the other committees, and again, they would say, the town meeting is good. Article 5 was presented, we voted on it, X amount of people said yes, no, whatever. So I am going to be I'm going to try to be a little more generalized in the minutes unless it's absolutely necessary that you want to go on the record.
Okay.
It's only your second month.
Tapering off there.
And if
So-
Joe Shaver comes in, I'm never telling you.
I will be like on the record. And so did you want to have us vote on them? Is there
Yes.
any discussion on the minutes
So that was going to be my next, if everybody has reviewed this, is there any corrections, additions that need to be made?
The only thing I can say is Katie did not attend town meeting via YouTube. It's a go-to meeting. But,
Oh, go-to meeting.
All right.
I don't think that's a big deal.
I'll just change it, and then when
You
I
can
send
cross it out and change it, like you
Yeah.
can literally cross it out.
Yeah, I'll just do it to the, because I want to have a clean copy to go to the clerk's office, so that's fine, okay.
And do you,
Well, so to be technical, I did watch live via YouTube. I was not logged in to go to me.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you did? Okay. then.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why I said YouTube.
So,
I guess she's on YouTube.
okay, so does that mean she was
No.
present?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know how they count that actually. It's live on YouTube and I was there, so.
yeah, no, so that means you're present. That absolutely meant
that's
that you were
fine.
present.
That's fine. Okay, so, all right, so anyway, so I'd like to propose that we vote upon the minutes of the October 27th meeting. I'd like to have a motion to approve.
A motion we approve is submitted.
Okay, second?
Second?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
roll call. Katie, Rick,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike.
All right.
I wasn't there.
I'll put you as abstain.
Okay.
Also, I have the minutes of October 15th, when we got together and discussed the articles. I put this together, and under general public, I did not put anybody who was here. There was one person, but I wasn't going to.
No, we don't need to put those in.
So anyway, we were all present and accounted for. We had the discussions, and I would ask that you review it, and if there's any corrections or...
You sent those to me, didn't you?
Yeah.
I thought I read them, okay.
Yep. So if there's any additions, I'd like to talk about that first. Otherwise, I'd like to make a proposal that we accept it as presented. Everybody
I
okay with it?
motion to accept it as presented.
You got it.
Second?
Second.
Yeah, the chairmans have proposed and seconded this. So everybody that is in favor of this, we'll take the roll call. Katie?
Aye.
Okay. Lori?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Rick? Aye.
Perfect.
Nicole? Okay, they have been accepted.
What should be on here and is not is a next meeting date, because you can maybe do a doodle poll and try to figure that out. Because there is like, some nights are better for certain people. Or do you want to set one now?
I mean, should we possibly set the season's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Oh, it's going to be coming up hard and fast.
Should we do a regularly scheduled meeting every month?
I think that would probably be a good idea.
Within the same day?
The first couple months, it's not like you're just easing into things, but at this time of year, it's a good idea. And then you can also get a better handle on the budgets that come in from the town of, where they're at, what's encumbered, what's been spent, what's remaining, high, low, what have you.
So, quick question, wasn't normally scheduled for the third Tuesday of the month at 6:30?
It was, but that was at our discretion.
Okay.
And Nicole, what days are good? Katie, what days are good for you?
Generally, evenings except for Tuesdays.
How about you, Mike? What days are good for you?
I just have to make it work.
It's like right, your calendar looks like my calendar.
Yeah,
You're
so
like just
there's-
all over.
So you guys pick it and I'll just...
Yeah, this is mine.
Right, so yeah,
Right.
we're in the same boat.
For me, other than the second Wednesday of the month, everything's open.
And how about you, Brian?
Wednesday evenings are best for me because my wife is at orchestra rehearsal, and Tuesday nights are no good because I have my guitar lessons.
So how about?
Other than that, I'm wide open.
So how does anybody feel about the third Wednesday of each month?
So just to be very clear, the third Wednesday of each month, the ZBA meets. They used to meet in here it's at 6 o'clock. I know the last couple times they've met across the hall. I don't know if that really matters. I mean, there's plenty of rooms
It's
here.
like, we can go in the auditorium, we can go in the planning board room. There's only 5 of us. Normally, people do not attend our meetings. They attend the tri-board meetings.
Yeah.
EDIC meets the third Wednesday in here, just so you know.
Okay, so I mean, is that, do
EDIC, I think.
you want to do the first Wednesday? Somebody can't do the second, you can't do the second?
When does the select board receive the budget information and pass it on to the finance committee? Is that early in the month?
Oh,
or
I
later?
can't.
Oh, no, so don't you get the budget information from what's her name?
Oh, no, I get the budget reports, but I'm talking about as we get into budget season, because.
Oh, that's like,
Yeah,
you're going to get those in January.
Yeah, but we don't want to wait like a full month before we have a meeting.
No,
to
but
review
those
them.
will be tri-board meetings, and the budgets start to come in January from the departments that Steve and Jill will then
It
present.
seems like they might be about a month behind, according to Steve. He waited an extra month to request
Till
them.
February?
Didn't Jill say that the other night, that we might be looking like end of January, beginning of February? I think
Because
she
that would be a tri-board meeting, because it's just more effective, because to have the 3 boards meet separately, it doesn't work. And so that would be outside of the scope of the regularly scheduled monthly meeting of the finance committee, where at this point you're looking to see the expenditures, the remaining, the this, the that. If one of the departments has crazy overtime or has underutilized overtime, or, those are the things that the finance committee would talk about independently. But the budget, it's just best to have everybody at the table, and those are done by doodle polls.
So the third Wednesday in December will be the 17th, which is only a month and a week away.
Yeah, right? It's coming up like, all right, is it the,
Actually,
do you want to do the
2 weeks away.
you want to do the first Wednesday? Like, I think we can't do the second. Do you know who meets in this room on the first Wednesday of the month?
I think EDIC does also.
AgCom.
They're doing 2.
Who is it?
AgCom usually
No,
is.
Okay.
AgCom's over here, EDIC is in here, AgCom is over there.
They're a small committee, they can be moved around.
Yeah.
So we're also looking at 2 potential other meetings in December.
Oh, yeah.
A tri-board and a meeting
An
with,
informal collaborative
With-
meeting.
Right.
well, no, what's the
Mars.
agency, the state agency?
MARS,
Okay.
Massachusetts Association of Regional Schools.
The meetings from December through April tend to be multiple meetings a month. Multiple.
So, yes, at Tuesday, Nicole, she was going to bring up a formal motion to start a committee to do some fact-finding on the regionalization. And I think if we can get a meeting arranged with Mars, she's going to kind of table that until after that meeting takes place.
Was that the regionalization committee that the school committee shut down, or
Yes.
just one?
So do you want to just think about it and circle back? to
Yeah, we
over-
can.
Because that's why it gets complicated this time of year.
Doodle poll
Like,
is your friend.
Doodle poll is your friend. And Melissa would absolutely help you manage that, send it out, manage it, collect data, extrapolate what works.
She's excellent.
Yes, she is.
There's only 5 of us. It's not an open meeting violation.
Right.
The email and say which date works.
Which date works, which date works.
That's perfectly appropriate.
But so we do know that no Tuesday night for you, the second Tuesday of the month, none?
If I have to switch it.
Katie,
it's fine.
Tuesdays are bad. So 2 of you have Tuesdays bad. Rick, you're
Second Wednesday.
second Wednesday. Outside of that, it's a free-for-all.
Michael, make it work.
Right.
I mean, They're just.
Like, right, and then whenever I saw that calendar, my calendar looks like, oh my
So
God.
it's tough. So whatever we pick, I'll make it work.
All you can do is just make it work.
Right.
I get it. So with that, is there any call to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor? Katie?
I.
Aye.
Aye. Laurie, aye.
Mike, aye.
Brian, aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:15 PM on Thursday, November 6th, 2025.